So, today, I really want to talk about the Davids. There are many of them, and by many I mean 7. And I realized I put the entire rest of the list in alphabetical order accidentally, except for the first one. The first and most important, always, is David Lynch. You may know him from works such as Twin Peaks or Blue Velvet. I know him from his videos about Lana Del Rey. That's a lie. I know him from his works such as Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet. I also know Fire Walk With Me. Can't watch that. Too sad. And I've seen Inland Empire like 3 or 4 times because I kept falling asleep while I was watching it. I did finally watch it all the way through, and I loved it. The ending, ooh, icky. Oh, Rabbits. Rabbits is my favorite. I've seen Rabbits several times, so many times I actually cannot count. It just makes me feel like I'm home with the Rabbits. I could talk about David Lynch forever. I love that guy, but I'll stop. Next on the list is David Byrne. Any Talking Heads fans out there will know that guy's the realist. I love Talking Heads. I love his own music. What is that one? Everyone's in Love With You is my favorite David Byrne song, I think. And Stop Making Sense is one of my favorite movies of all time. Also directed by Jonathan Demme, who's not a David, but important to me because of Silence of the Lambs. What else about David Byrne? Oh, I love listening to his like holiday interviews with Terry Gross on NPR. Ooh, love it. Everything he has to say, I'm like, I'm eating it. I'm eating it up. Next on the list is David Bowie. I don't know much about David Bowie, honestly. I know that his eye was like that because he got into a fight when he was like 14 or something. Stupid. Ridiculous. Permanently disabled because you got into a fight when you were 14. Icky. Weird. But fashion icon, cool music. Fashion icon. I used to get like David Bowie calendars. I got one every year for about 7 years, and then I cut them into pieces and put them up on my wall, and I had a wall of photos of David Bowie. It was just like wallpapered in that, because he's just got some cool style. I need to figure out who like the stylists and photographers were, because that's more important, low-key. But yeah, David Bowie. Next on the list is David Cronenberg, and I'm gonna be so honest, I have not really gotten into Cronenberg. I watched Dead Ringers the other night. I think I watched Scanners too. Love it, love them, but I'm not like a super fan. I'm not like really into that. Again, don't really know anything about him, but I respect the grind and I respect his art. Next is David Duchovny, whom you may know from the X-Files, but I know from Twin Peaks as Denise. I never finished the X-Files. I really want to watch it, but if I watch it on Hulu, where I think it's streaming right now, it's like every 2 minutes of show gets 7 minutes of ads, and it's just unwatchable. And I really want to designate some time to that. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Not all here. Next on the David list, why do I look like I'm in pain saying this? It's because I'm in the sun. Is David Fincher, whom I always forget directed Gone Girl, and then I watch Gone Girl and I'm like, oh my god, it's my bestie David Fincher. He also, I think, created the show Mindhunter, which is like, you haven't seen it, watch it. It's delicious. It's extremely well done. Everything about it. It's like one of the best TV shows literally ever made. And it's criminal that we are never going to get a third season or anything beyond what we have. Truly criminal. And I really like that in the second season with in Atlanta, the mothers at the end are like, your work is not done. Your work is not done. You didn't do enough. You failed. And we're still picking it up and doing it. Because it's true. It wasn't, I have a lot of opinions about that, but I don't think it was entirely that one guy. You know, evidence, circumstantial evidence, and a lot of it matched up for some of them, but not all of them. So it's unfair, and they just pushed it under the rug, and it's not a victory lap, because it's not over. Next on the list is another David that I don't really know a ton about outside of like NPR stories, and that would be Sedaris. But my mom and sister like his books. I'd like to read them when I have time to, when I'm not like in school. I think I'm getting like sunburnt out here. That's kind of crazy. He's so funny. I love the NPR stories, podcasts, whatever you want to call it, that I've heard. Love it. I love NPR too, in general. That's not a David, but I love NPR. And then, finally, we have David Tennant, whom I've just rediscovered. You know, I was big into, like, Doctor Who when I was 13, so I know him as the Doctor, but also he's like a prolific stage actor, which is what I want to know him for. His Macbeth is incredible. His Hamlet is incredible. He's incredible. His Doctor 11? Is he the 11th? I know it's Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, Whittaker, Gatwa. I need to get back into Doctor Who for Ncuti Gatwa, because he, incredible. Love him to bits, love him to pieces. Anyway, I think that's the end of the Davids, because the sun is encroaching on my space and it's kind of freaking me out. But those are the 7. Those are the main 7. If I think of more, maybe I'll talk about them in the future. Don't know, don't care. Hope you guys are well. I love you.